In previous lessons, we have already learned the conceptual part of a string concatenations. Okay, so I think I have already explained in details about what is importance of a string concatenations, like building dynamic string, how to use user output for using a string concatenations, and more specifically the data manipulations. Okay, so we have already talked about this. You already know how to do string manipulation with the different scenario, in different scenario how we can use that. Okay, fine. So now we are going to do this part. We are going to do all the hands-on and the doing writing the code. Okay, so let's do one by one. So I'm using Visual Studio. Okay, and Python is already set. Okay, so I will write the code here. Okay, so let me create the file name that is called str. You can write in short concatenation. Okay, okay, fine, and then py. Okay, so first example we are going to do, let's create, let me give also some annotations or comment part. Example 1. Okay, so in examples 1, first what we are going to do, generating, or let's write the some dynamic message. Okay, fine. So how we can do that? So maybe let's take the user input. Okay, first, or maybe we can assign some value. Okay, default value we can set. Later we can take with help of something. Let's store some value called Alice. Okay, and then let's create message. Okay, and message equal to, let's write some hello, and then this one, and then with the help of plus we are concatenating, then write username, then with the help of plus write some more text. Okay, so it can be look like that. Welcome to our program. Okay, or let's suppose platform. Fine, and then finally we are going to print this message. Okay, this one. Fine, let's run this one from here. How we can run? Just type python 3 and then name of the python file or python script file name, concatenations. Okay, so you can see we are getting this one. Even you can take some input. Okay, so you can call input function, enter or username. Fine, run this again after saving. So let's write something like that. Okay, so you can see hello Ethan, welcome to our platform. Fine, so this is one example, and in second example let me copy this and I'm going to save it here. Okay, do not copy 2 times, and here we are going to building a file path. Okay, and let's first create some file path. Let's call it base path. and base path you can write something home, then after user, and then something like that, and then file name you can write any file name. Let's call document dot txt. Fine. And how we can concatenate with the help of full path. Okay, full path. So how we can write full path? So just call the base path, and then with the help of plus, plus is used to concatenate the strings. Okay, and then after just print full path. Fine. Or maybe if you write some messages here, so you can also do like that, file path colon and like this. Fine. So this one, let's make it just simple one, so that we do not have to spend more time about taking the user input. Okay, you already know how the things working, right? So but just for making the conceptual or hands-on part hands-on, more speed up the work. Okay, fine. So this one we are going to print. So let's see what is the more thing you are able to see. So this is our file path. Okay, so everything is correct. Fine. Let's do third example. Third example, what we are going to do, we are going to constructing some query. Okay, constructing construct and SQL query. Okay, query. So in last what we have discussed, let me show you. So we have discussed, we have explained this query, right? We have to write something like that. Okay, we have to create the query like that. Fine. So I think we should copy here. Okay, let's first write query string. Okay, query string, and we can write something like that. Select whatever the fixed one. So you can write here that is not going to change dynamically. Later we can add the help of concatenation. Let's suppose for employee. So from employee table, where, okay, where, let's give some meaningful name equal to, and search value. Okay, the search value will come from somewhere. Okay, from input, or but in this case we are considering we are giving this input. Let's suppose write anything. Okay, give my name here, right? And what will the complete query? So let's suppose here, right, SQL query. Okay, so how we can do that? This one, and then plus this one. Okay, so this will be our query. So let's print the query. Okay, SQL query this. Okay, so similarly, you can write more conditions. Okay, so if you want to more conditions here, so you can write some conditions, more conditions. Since, okay, so you can write more condition like order by name. Okay, also how you can add here. Okay, so plus, but make sure, okay, so whenever adding something, so a space will be not there. Okay, so but all the query will be like that. Okay, so let me first show you, then you will get the clear picture what I'm trying to say. Okay, so first let's call inside this one to print something. Okay, and let's see the output. Okay, fine. So you can see this one example 1, this is example 3. So constructing a query, so this is our query. Also let's make this separator. Okay, like this, and you can see this is properly space separated. Okay, so that's why I'm saying make sure instead of creating one more extra line, one more extra variable, just give the space here. Okay, so now see the output. Okay, so you can see this is our correct query, valid query. Okay, fine. This one is, or if you want to remove this one just for everything look in this structured or consistent of the way of printing. Okay, so this one, fine. So we have learned this one. Now we are going to, so this was for building dynamic. Okay, so maybe we can create here in more something like that. It was for building dynamic. Okay, so dynamic strings, fine. This one, this was the first utility. Second utility we are going to do here, let's print it. Now how we are going to do user output. Okay, so user output. So how we can use string concatenation if you want to display some information here. Okay, obviously everything will be displayed here. Okay, so no worry about this one. So in user output, the first examples we are going to take. Okay, so I think let me show you. I think I have already written some code. Okay, so why we are going to copy paste every time, or maybe you can write. Okay, so let me show you. I have already written some examples, so just we are going to copy paste that example. Okay, so the first one is formatting and greeting. Okay, so I think this one is very much similar to the first example, right? So this example. Okay, but let me show you again. Okay, so this one is creating one variables for storing something. This one is last value. Okay, so last name, first name, and then we are storing like that. Okay, so it is first thing. So let's run it again. Okay, so this one, and okay, so we haven't printed this. Okay, so let's call the print function and then call greeting. Fine, and then clear this for more clean screen. Fine, so this is hello Bob Johnson, right? So next examples we are going to do. Okay, so greeting was already there, so creating this. Okay, again here everything is same, just we are here, but the difference here we are concatenating some numerical value to this string. So how we can do that? For doing that we have to first convert somewhere. Okay, some data type means string data type. Only string concatenation is the functions or functionality of the string. Okay, so everything should be string, data type should be string. Okay, so now this one, let's run this. Okay, so you can see error 404 not found. If you are creating some this custom messages, also you can do that. So this was creating user friendly messages, right? Is there more thing to discuss in string output, user output? Okay, fine. This one, Yeah, there should be more examples. Okay, so here you can see these are common examples. So how to use up one thing we have already explained. Okay, so we will go with that approach. Okay, fine. So let's do this data manipulations part. Okay, so how we can do data manipulations? Let me copy this and save it to the next one, and then give it some name, user data manipulations. Okay, and then this one is our third one, right? Third approach. Third approach is not approach, the third utility or use cases. Okay, so now first we are going to doing this one and printing everything. Okay, so just I'm doing for saving the typing things. If you want to do me again, I can do that, but I think that is waste of time. Okay, so you know already how to create this thing and how we can do some hands-on. Okay, we are printing here. I will do some custom here, custom changes, and to show you different output. Okay, so you can see how the fruits look like. Okay, so you can see comma separated, right? So this is meaning of join. Maybe we can do like that, or maybe you can let some, that is called delimiter. Delimiter means how we want to separate all individual items present in this list. Okay, so this is meaning of this. You can see like that. So I don't think this is a very standard way. So comma is more comma separated file, something like that. So this is more standard way of showing informations. Okay, so proceed like that. Okay, similarly if you want to do some space, or maybe because you already know concatenations means just adding something, right? But still you can add something with more extra spacing. Okay, so here spacing is not required, so you can do like that. Okay, so this is one method for that is called join. So make sure join is very useful if there is something more iterative data, basically we can say. Okay, so that is used on mostly on iterative data. Okay, list, tuples, or anything. Fine. So this one, let me show you another example. So this one, but for this one I will show you with the help of, okay, so I will type here. Okay, because that will need it. Fine. So how we can do, so we have to print something, right? And how we have to print something. So if you want to print everything and concatenate all the things. Okay, so any of the things you can do. Let me show you result. Okay, so result or yeah, fine, result equal to, so already written here formatted number, right? So why we are creating this one? So let's create the 4 item. Okay, or may say num in, or just we have to iterate over the number. Okay, fine, then this one, and then every time we have to call this, and then we call plus equal to, and then how to, where you want to add. Okay, so let me show you. If you want to add at the end, okay, so it will this one, and then you can add this num. Okay, num, and at the end you can add some space, but you already know string, because this is list of integers. Okay, so we have to convert it to str, because str, why str? Because concatenation is not possible on integers or any other data type, because this is operations of a string. Okay, and at the end you can print formatted number, right? Formatted data, the number is already there. Okay, fine, let me clear again. Okay, so you can see why we are getting 1 1 2 2 2 2 like that. Why? Because every time we are adding with previous one. Okay, so we are getting this output. Okay, So first time it will be 1, right? So 1 is coming. Again it will be next time. Okay, so if you want to interpret here, so first time our output will be 1. Okay, next time it will be, so already value is 1, and then after we are adding 2. Okay, so next time will be 2. Okay, I think here a space is not separated, but still you can write some space, so giving more. Okay, so first do we, okay fine, so let me run this again, then I will explain this how these things are working. Okay, so you can see all the things are added with previous one. Okay, so or for just for you can get the idea from the spaces. Okay, yeah, every time it's added with 1, so not add 1, it's a spacing. Okay, so let me explain here. So first time will be 1, next loop it will come, and already is 1 is already there, right? So 1 will be already there, and plus it will be 2. Okay, so 2 will be like that, and the out, and also space is there, so our output will be 1 space 2. It third time. Okay, so already this one 1 space 2 is already there. Okay, next time we will adding num 3. Okay, so it will be 3, right? Yeah, now is 1 2 3, 1 2 3, like that. So every time it is concatenated. Okay, yeah, one more thing here. Okay, so we have to remove this one. Okay, because also we are doing what are doing, we are doing like that. Okay, so we are already adding with the new, plus again we are adding this one. Okay, so from in this case it will be 1, it will space. Okay, and then 1, next time it will be 1 2. Okay, and again we are adding 1 2. Okay, 1 2, and then adding 2. So see the output. First time is 1, then is 1 2. Okay, 1 2, and so okay, let me do it this one. So next time it will added with all the previous. Okay, so first let me this one. So first the value of this will be 1. Okay, and then it will be number is equal to 2. Okay, so this one done. Again we are adding this value. Okay, so we can see plus equal to whatever is on right hand side, again we are adding. Okay, so right hand side is this one, so it will be this one 1 2, and again it will be added with itself. Okay, so 1 2 and 1 2 added with again 1 2. Okay, it's like that. So you can see 1 2, and okay, so let me print something. I think it's sometimes hard to interpret, right? So yeah, print it here. Okay, so first we are going to track in what we are getting in each line. Okay, so you can see the first time is 1, next time 1 1 2, 1 1 2, third time, because you know 1 1 2, this will be previous one, right? Previous one will be this. Okay, so this is here, again it is added. Okay, same thing is repeated. Okay, so 1 1 2, and then it's adding 3. Okay, it's like that. So now it will be this one. Okay, so this output, and it will again it will repeat it. Okay, so you can see 1 1 2 1 1 2 3, this is again repeating. So from here, okay, so till now it's here 3 it's repetitive, okay, so we are getting 4 is new one is added, okay. So this one, so it means these are added because itself added with itself, okay, and then adding the new one. Again you can see all these things, okay. So this one, okay, so this all informations will be added 2 times, okay. So from 4, so you can see from 4 here, and again it is repeating, it's going to 4 and 5 is new added, and this one is our final output, right? We are printing this one, okay. Yeah. So there was some, obviously we cannot track everything, you know, just we are doing one by one, so that's why use of print something, okay. So this one, so we have discussed this thing, so you already see. And if you want to strip something, so what is use of a strip? A strip is if you want to remove some spaces from the, you know, leading, yeah, trailing we can say. So at the end there might be spaces, okay, so that is not required. So here you are not able to see spaces, but somehow we are doing some, you know, calculations based on this thing. So string will be, or this plus will be also added, okay. So in that case you can strips, okay. So strip means removing some unnecessary spaces you want to do, but in this case we are going to we are going to remove spaces because at the end a space will be generated, okay, fine. This one, okay, so we have discussed data manipulations part, join, formatting, that is done, okay. So okay, let's explain this one. So here basically adding what are the different way or common method to concatenate. So one is plus operator, okay. So till now we are using only plus operator, or as you can see, right. So we are using plus operators, right, for concatenating everything. And second thing we have used join, okay. The which one is yeah, this one, this is join. And what is the other method? So you can see this one, join is already mentioned, okay. So this is join, and loop is also we have explained, okay. So loop concatenation, this one we have already explained how to do concatenation. So in that case we have to take care about this conversion or data type, okay. So this is same example, right. So there is no any more difference, okay. So you can see we are storing some result, okay, and then stripping from last spaces, okay, because if the last time added, so extra space will be added, and that is not required, so we remove this one. Two more examples here, format, okay. So formatting part and if string, okay. So this thing we are going to do, okay. So let me do here this example. So let's take the same example, this one, okay. Let me remove this. Also you can comment down this, comment down, and then we are going to this. So now what we are going to use, we are going to use format method, functions we can say, or method, okay. So now let's call the print, and then, or if you want to create some result, okay, so you can store to the result, or let's say result, okay. So just do like that, and then we have to call this function called format, okay. And then inside, just why I'm doing this, just we have to also take care, okay. So first name, okay, and then call last name, okay, last name. So make sure here order is important, okay. So now the same order we have given in this function, again we have to call inside this plus, okay. So that's why I've written like that, okay. So that this is very important, or easy to remember. And what we have to do, if this is called expression evaluation in most of the programming language. If you are using something like that, so this is called expression evaluations, okay, on like that. And how we want to separate both things, so it could be a space something or like that, Okay, so doing this, okay, and yeah, both thing are there, and either you can call 0 or 1 something, or maybe or directly it will work like that. Okay, so there is one more way as well. Okay, so let me first print this one, result, or it will be more meaningful, give full name. Okay, full name, copy, paste, fine, let's run this. Okay, so what is our output? Full name. Okay, so okay, sorry, it's a file name, it should be first name. Okay, fine, you can see this is output. So this one again we are going to do we are going to use fstring. Okay, so now we are okay, so you can argue here, right? So what is meaning, right, so of string concatenation? So somehow you can say we are adding multiple string together. Okay, so it might be in embedding in different sentence, like in complete sentence, right? So we can write something like that. This is full name, right, something like that, or maybe something, any messages you can write it, or let's suppose something, any dummy messages. Okay, so welcome, or maybe, so you can call it anywhere. Okay, so let me call you not here, I'm calling here. So you can see this indicate the same thing number of times you are passing some argument. Suppose you are writing this 3 times. Okay, so it will show some error, pass 3 argument here. Okay, so this is representing number of argument, and the order will be the same. Okay, this one and this one. But if you want to also mentions, like this is called 0 order, this is 1. Okay, so but if you want to print 0 here, it might be happen, right, we passing here in first name last name, but we want to print something, so that in that case you have to do like that. Okay, 1 or 0 like that, so you have to give this index like that, but we are going without index. Okay, so let's first see the output. Okay, so this is full name. So anywhere you can embed or concatenate inside the string. Okay, but I have already explained in this case, because we cannot, that is not called a string concatenation if we are embedding something inside same string, right, but multiple string it can be there. Okay, so this is was part. So basically we are concatenating multiple string together. It might be 2 or 3, or maybe we can store to some different string. This one we can store to different string, and then we can add together, right? So this one. So this is one very useful method, format, and this is sometimes also called string formatting. Let me do this one. Try think if I am remember this correctly, this should work. Okay, so let me clear this. Okay, so one should be last name should be first. Okay, so you can see this is last name, right, and Bob is here. Okay, so similarly you can give the indexing as well if you don't want to query, like sometimes it might be confusing, right? So because if you're calling something, or if there is 1 or 2 or small program, that is very easy to remember, right? But there is more 10 20 something like that, and some order is specific, right? So where you have to call, so we cannot call like that. Okay, so we have to give some index. Fine, and first the same thing we can do with the help of if string. Okay, so this time it might be little the what we can say common thing about the string formatting and string concatenations. Okay, so you get the intersection of the some concept, but don't worry about thing. The thing is we are concatenating multiple string or formatting. String concatenation also is a part of formatting, okay, or sometimes in this context we can say some of the concept we are using of string formatting to demonstrate the example of string concatenation, right. So we are using this one. Again we are doing the same thing, just I am going to copy paste, okay. Here there is one, let me see where, and how you can do the same way. In here we called dot format method, okay. So sometime the people feel, okay, so this is not required, okay, so why we are doing them extra function. So is this something possible, okay. So yeah, so there is something possible, again we have to do, but there is some tricky part here. Make sure you have to call this if, okay, and then do this one, okay. So in this case you can say first, if you forget the syntax, make sure everything inside this one, so it type of a string, and then that string we are calling this format method. Again we are using f denoting we are using string formatting, right. Now again we have to do like that. This is called string, not a string expression evaluations, right. But here we have to take care. In this case we have passed 1 or 0, we haven't used, but again you see this information is variable is also always required, because how we have to pass, okay. Without this we cannot differentiate here what the values should be inside this one, right. But here there is some order we are calling here. So in this case there is no any 1 or 0 possible, okay, but there is some way you can directly call the variable inside here, okay. So how you can call first name here and then last name, okay. So sometime you will feel confused, okay. So just worry about this, don't worry about this, but you have to memorize this one, okay. So in this thing we have to using dot, and with the dot we are here we are calling some function, here we are not calling any function, but there is some way of writing syntax, okay. So this one again we can do, let's print, and you get the full name, new one, okay. So let's clear it again, and okay, so you can see this one we are getting. So again here the same thing happening, you can call in any error, because here is nothing more something like that. So you already know we are directly calling variables, so or you already know which orders I'm calling, where are these the variables is, you can easily track those variables, okay. So how we are calling, so if your order is important or where we have to write something, right. So also in this case we are passing the same order, but we are not passing something, we are not passing any index, so it will automatically treat it in the order it's come, okay. So 0 1 2 side, like left to right, but we mention somewhere like whatever the we are passing here, but we have to maintain the order in their own custom way, right. So in that case you have to pass some index, fine. So till now let me show you, so what thing we have understood, let me conclude this one. So there is 5 different way, okay. So concatenations, so first way is using plus operator, we have already learned, okay. This one using format method, right. I have already explained this one. This is I haven't written an indexing part, okay, but we can already, I have already mentioned. Third one also explained to you, okay. So if a string, so his name is in clear f string, so just type f should be first, and then double quote, inside double quote all the expression evaluation should be there. So it should be, make sure you do not remove this one, okay. It will not work, okay. So because this denote, curly bracket denote, we are calling the expressions, and in expression we can call any variable name, in that variable can have any value, right. But interesting part here, so good thing here, this case, suppose I am writing some, calling some number, let's call roll or something, right. Let's call 24, right. So in this case there is no any extra thing to conversion here, okay. So in this case you can easily concatenate, right. But in case of rest of the plus operators, okay, we are doing, that time we need to we have to take care about the data type. Okay, again in case of join, okay, you don't have to worry about data type. Okay, so all the three cases I'm talking about: join, okay, with the loop, but the loop if there is numeric something, again if all the things numeric, we have to do like that. So obviously any list can have dissimilar data type. Okay, this is part of Python, it can be possible, right? But if you are thinking all data type is type of number, then you have to convert, or else you have to every time check care about if there's any data type is string, then it's fine. If not, if number, so then you have to convert it here. Okay, so then the good thing about here, let me show you. Okay, so let me, I'm writing some 4. Okay, so you will not get any error. Okay, so I'm talking about this one, fruits part. Okay, let me run it again. So why should be int found? I think it should work for the different data type. Oh yeah, here also we are using, because this is in background, this is also using plus. Okay, plus operator. Okay, so that's why we are getting this one, because how this is calling. Okay, so it's calling like that, it might be apple. Okay, and then it will call this join, this one. Okay, so it will add some space like this, and then again you are doing like that. Okay, so adding the next data type. Okay, so this is where it works. So again in join in background, this is using this way, plus operators. Okay, so that's why you are getting this error. Okay, let me try this again. For the same thing here, we are using as a plus. Okay, so because the first already one string is plus, we have already defined here the string should be plus, right? So again what we are adding here, it should be also, because plus is using, right? But in case of here, okay, so you can see easily write something. Okay, so let's write marks and write some 99. Okay, and then inside let's call the marks and call somewhere. Okay, so let's call 2. Okay, again here we are doing the same thing, we are calling some any other data type, right? So in this way I think string concatenation we do not have to worry about it. Okay, let me first reconfirm so that everything we are discussing till now is clear to everyone, right? Okay, so you can see here we are getting everything correctly. So in this case it is possible, right, to concatenate different data type. Okay, so that's why sometimes it's a part of string formatting. Okay, so let me go to the notes again. So this one you can see f string and format. In this both cases we can use different data type. It's not, I'm just explaining to you only numeric, you can write any other data type any number of time. Okay, so in both cases you can see f formatting and dot format method. Okay, so this one is important. Okay, so in this case we have to calling the variables name, and in this case we are calling indexing or without indexing, also it will be correct. Okay, but if you are specifying the, we are not specifying this index, so it will print the same order we have given to this function dot format function in the same order. Okay, order means left to right, it will print that like that. Okay, so I think that's all everyone for this video. I think you might have watched the previous video as well, so that in that video I have explained in more details the concept. Okay, and in this one I explained to you the practical part and obviously the hands-on part. Okay, so it's mostly the activity. So thank you everyone. So thank you so much for watching. If this type of video is helpful, or it at least you get some insight, or it might be going to improve your Python development skill, or maybe for programming skill, so I am happy to creating more such video. Okay, so thank you for watching. Let's meet in another one.